What is your plan process for 2023? I'm going to dive in today to exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to move forward with my own business and how I'm going to plan to do that. Let's go. So I've been sitting here contemplating what to make this video about today because I have a lot of ideas of what I want to, produce for new videos and what I want to put out there. And instead, I've been caught up in finding out what I want to do for the new year and journaling and figuring out like what's next and how to go about that. So I figured, you know what? Maybe instead of doing all the other things that I want to do and procrastinating because it's going to take a lot of setup and time, maybe I'll just talk to you about what I'm doing right now. Okay, so first off, I'm going to give a shout out to Heart Breathings because this is a YouTube channel that I've been watching for a little bit now, and she's so inspirational. She is an author, and so when I was writing my book and trying to figure out all the things, I found her, and she's just like so exciting to watch, and she gives a lot of ideas, and she's very thoughtful about what she's communicating, and she's the one that told me about NaNoWriMo and a lot of different other things. So I found her tonight because a notification popped up because I'm subscribed to her on YouTube, and she's talking about her planners and her system and what she's getting ready for the new year and all that kind of stuff. And I figured, she's inspired me. I want to get back to journaling and planning because I used to be into it so much, and I've kind of let that take a back burner. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you should know that my motto is to choose happy. I even got it branded on myself this year because it's that important to me, as I want to choose happiness and I want to do things that are making me happy. And the more I prolong doing those things, the more flustered and anxious and overwhelming life seems. So I want to get back to doing those things that make me super happy and doing the things that I have fun doing. And being a planner-driven person has always been me. I've been journaling. My first journals that I have found like officially are from 5th grade. So from 5th grade, and I know I wrote before then, but I never really, I guess, kept a journal, or at least I don't have it. So from 5th grade up until now, I've always had journals. And so as an adult, it definitely got harder, and I didn't write in them as much, and I don't have a lot. I was focusing on being a mom, and instead of writing about those experiences, I kind of just like let it all hang out and not really wrote it down. It wasn't constructive. And I feel like maybe if I did write more, then maybe my anxiety wouldn't have been so bad because I could have got it out. That was always my way of coping with anxiety and overwhelming feelings, is to like write and get it out. And I haven't done that as consistent. And it kind of all makes sense now of why my life has felt so crazy and overwhelming. So I'm going to get back to it this year. I have a journal in my nightstand upstairs next to my bed, and I've had it there for a while. And I just went back upstairs and looked at it. And I have actually been journaling on and off throughout the year of 2022, but it definitely wasn't consistent. So I ran up there when I started watching this video. I paused it, ran up there, wrote a journal entry for today, and said to myself, I'm going to make this part of my nighttime routine again and go ahead and just write a little bit. Because when I was writing every morning or every night or something like that, when I was writing every single day, I felt so much better. And so I want to get back into doing that. Okay, so I'm going to get back into journaling again. And with that being said, something that inspired me about her is that she was saying how she has several different journals for different parts of her life. And that sounded actually really good to me, and something that I've never really considered in that form. I've definitely had different notebooks for different things, but I never really was consistent with like journaling in them or having different journals for different things. And I really loved that idea. So this year I'm going to have a nighttime journal in my nightstand next to my bed so I can kind of reflect on the whole day, write about what we did, and just kind of use it for whatever I want. I feel like also with me, although I love structure and I thrive on that, I'm also really into having flexibility and being able to do whatever I want to do. So, well, in the future, in the past, I've had journals where I'm like, it's just a gratitude journal. You can only write about 5 things that you're grateful for and only have this and only have that. And like, that's great for a little bit, but I also want to be able to have the flexibility to write whatever I want. So what I'm going to do with that journal is I'm going to use it for being grateful for it and write down the things that I'm grateful for, but also have the flexibility to write a little blurb after and maybe like say what I did that day or something exciting or something fun that happened that day or something monumental, something like that. So I'm going to really focus on having that journal next to my bed, but actually opening it up and using it and reading every night before bed, because it's something I really love to do. And I don't have a really good nighttime routine anymore, or really maybe ever. And I had a really good morning routine going for a while until my schedule changed, and I've kind of slacked on that too. So I really want to get back to doing routine things, because I definitely thrive with having a routine and getting things done, and I feel so much better about my day rather than waking up and being flustered and running around and it's just chaotic. So I'm going to really focus on routines and having these journals incorporated in my routines, and hopefully that will help me be better, well-rounded all around. Okay, so that first journal is going to be in my bedtime journal, my gratitude journal, my blurb, things like that. The second one is I have this little pink fun binder thing that used to be a calendar, but I've used it already. I think it was mostly all last year. And so I'm going to change this over now to be my homeschool binder journal, whatever you want to call it. Because my girls and I, ever since pandemic, really, well, probably always, I've been a teacher for 13 years. And my daughters love to do mama school is what we call it, and work on things that they're working on at school. But we also work on things at home, and we also have little projects that we do and all these things. And it's like an extension of school because they don't really get homework, but I like to do things with them. And we used to really be good at it over the summer or when I was making my own schedule. And so now life is a little bit crazier. I have more of a structured schedule that I have to follow. And so I really want to still be able to incorporate mama school in that and do our homeschooling. So I'm making my little binder here where I've got our stickers. There's a nice little folder in the back. And then I've got this notebook in the front where I can write our notes and kind of make little mini lesson plans of things that we want to go over, so I can have a more structured routine with them. And it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm talking maybe 30 minutes of mama school where we do an activity together, or we work on their sight words, or we work on something together, or maybe we're doing an experiment that night, or we're baking together, or we're just doing something productive together, but we can make it a learning experience as well. I want to be able to plan that out with them. And so I feel this fun little binder will keep everything cute. And I do have folders from their schools of things that they should be working on, so that will help guide it. And I have this little file folder next to my desk, so I'm gonna house everything there, and then we can be more planned out of what we're going to do. And I feel it's gonna make me feel so much more organized, but I can just pick up the binder and be okay, today this is what we're gonna do, this is the activity, instead of just kind of throwing things at the wall or skipping it because I didn't have it planned out. And so I also need to now incorporate in my schedule a time where I'm going to go ahead and plan for the week what we're going to do, or the activities that we're gonna have for that week. Okay, so the next journal I want to talk about is my business journal. And so they have to, when it's my business journal or notebook, they have to have something inspirational on the front. So this says believe in yourself. And then I also have a notebook that says yes you can. So my notebook is usually for me to take notes when I'm watching YouTube videos, or I'm writing down orders from people, things like that, website things, or how I'm outlining something. Maybe I'm outlining a YouTube video, something like that. I keep in my notebook, and I make sure that I have everything laid out. It's my quick go-to. I always just leave it open on my desk, so if I need to write something down, I can go ahead and do that. But with my journal, I want to start, I used to use use kind of both for just notes, and I just throw things down, and everything was kind of not organized, and I got frustrated because I almost felt I had two running notebooks and I'd have to refer back and forth, and I don't want that. I want to be able to have designated places for everything. So my notebook can be all my notes and order taking and things like that, and then my journal is going to be all the things that I'm accomplishing and all the things that I'm doing and how I'm running the business and how I'm having, which websites are doing what and what's going well, what's not going well. This is going to be more of reflecting on my business and what's going forward with it, and how I'm sticking to the things that I want to do, and what are the things I want to do, how am I running the business. So it's going to be more of that internal reflection out on paper. And so hopefully this will keep me loyal to the things that I want to do, because I'm writing it down and I have a plan, and it's not just thrown all over the place, which I've been in the past because I'm so impulsive. And so I want to be able to have more of a guide and a reflection, so I can go back each week and say, okay, this is what worked, this is not working, or this is what I've been consistent at, this is what I should keep going with. And I'm really excited to really incorporate this in the proper way, and so I can hopefully use this as a guide moving forward. And then my notebook will be, like I said, for like taking notes when I'm watching YouTube videos, or when I'm taking orders, or when I'm outlining a YouTube video or something like that. I want to be able to have my notes that I can just kind of like throw down, and then I don't really have to look at them again. Once it's complete, it's just kind of like in there. But I can look back if I need to like come up with any new ideas, or go back to something that I was doing previously that I'm going to be doing in the future. So I'm really excited to be able to have these two. And within this notebook, I don't want to lose my page, so let me just open this for a quick second. I also have a outline that I've made on Canva, and this keeps me organized. It's called my daily focus planner. This has everything I need. It has the chores I need to do for the day. It has my post ideas for when I'm on social media. It has my business tasks. It tells me what I'm doing throughout the week, and it tells me like my me time stuff. Because for me, sometimes my brain gets so like flustered and full of things and all the things that I will literally be sitting on the couch like mellowing out, and I'm like, what should I be doing right now? And if I have a list to go to, then I'm more likely to be like, oh, it's Monday, I should be doing this. Or wait, let me see what the tasks I've got done for my business today. And if I didn't get something done, I can be like, oh, I know what I need to be doing right now. Instead of just being like, I don't know what's happening right now. So I have this. If you want a copy of this, or an editable copy that you can do for yourself, let me know, and I can put a link down below for you. Okay, and then of course I have my planner. I love my planner. I love using my phone. Don't get me wrong. I love the alerts and the reminders that it can give you. And being digital is good for so many different reasons. Like you can send things to people, and it's all like right there, and you carry it with you every day. I do love my digital stuff, but I'm still a hands-on person, and I feel like I always will be. And so I like to be able to write everything down, and I feel like seeing it on paper and being able to manipulate it with my fingers, and I can just see what's happening for the day and what's going on, is super helpful for me. I also have an organized calendar in my kitchen that is a whiteboard and I can write on. I feel like for me and for some people out there, like definitely my YouTube friends over here, there's like never too many ways to have a calendar or have, you know, all your events happening. So like I know for some people it might be overwhelming, and they're like, dude, I can only have one. I don't know how you have like 3 different areas. But I feel like I like to be able to have one on my desk that I can look at and refer to, even though it's on my phone. I want to be able to have it on my desk so I can like see it and play with it and write on it if I need to. And so I know what's going on for the day. And then I also like to have one in my kitchen that my husband can see, and we can both be on the same playing field. If he's like, hey, what's going on this day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's on the calendar. It's right there. Like I try to write everything down on that calendar so everyone knows what events are going on, when I have to be ready for school start, and I have to be ready for all these school events and things like that. Like I like to have everything written down. My new goal is to try to keep my phone calendar for all the events and things that I need to be reminded of, because my phone will actually like alert me and say, hey, don't forget this, hey, don't forget that, and like I need that. And so for my written calendar now, I want to be more on purpose, where I can write down maybe more, like keep it to my business and things like that. So I can have it, not only will I have my business notes, I'll have my business journal, but now I'll have a business calendar. And this can maybe keep me more on track to doing the things I need to do. Because when you are your own boss, there's nobody saying, hey, Michelle, you need to do this, or hey, Michelle, you need to do that. Now, I do have a coach who's super helpful, because she can remind me about, you know, what are you doing? Well, she'll like prompt me and say, hey, what's your goal for this week? What have you got going on? What are you doing? And then she'll also prompt me to be like, hey, are you putting out a video on this day? And what's your video about? And she'll kind of talk it out with me. And so that's super helpful. It's like an accountability coach is kind of what I've referred to her as. And it's super helpful in that way, because she keeps me going. She keeps me being like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that. So even though it really is no skin off her back if I do these things or not, she's there to help me be like, hey, yeah, like doing one is better than none. And hey, do this. Don't forget that. You said you wanted to follow this. And so I feel like now I've never before had a specific business calendar where I wrote down my goals and what specifically I want to do. And so I want to keep this one specifically for my business, for any work that I can be like, okay, this order is due here. I need to mail this book by this. I need to put up a YouTube video. I need to edit. I need to whatever. And then that way I can hopefully really narrow down the business aspect of it and know when things are happening. Like when I have craft fairs or events that I want to go to or apply for, I want them in here. I want to have my writing goals in here, like when I'm writing my new book and how many words I wrote in a day and all those kinds of things. I want to have them written down so it's more concrete. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I've inspired you in some way. I know I'm just kind of talking about exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I find that sometimes when you listen to other people talking about what they're doing, it gives you inspiration of things that you maybe want to do yourself or maybe follow along the same path. So I know this is more like a vlog style video, but I really do hope it inspires somebody to maybe think about journaling, even just one journal every day and kind of just writing down the things that you're doing, because it's so nice to be able to go back and reflect about the things that you're doing in your life. And we always think that we're going to remember, and we don't always remember the things, the little things, right? Or the things that we did. Or even if you just like get an inspirational idea. I know for myself, if I don't write it down somewhere or talk about it with somebody, like it will go in one ear and I'm like, oh my God, that's great. And then if I don't write it down, it's gone. There is some kind of scientific number out there, I think, that people come up with like hundreds of ideas every day, all day. And we like think about this awesome thing. And then if we don't actually act on it, it just goes out and somebody else will actually invent it or do it. And so you may have actually come up with an idea before that somebody actually went out and actually invented the thing or pursued it. And you may have thought about it at one point and you just never did anything with it. So wouldn't it be cool if you actually wrote something down and actually moved forward with it and it turned into your passion or your business or whatever? So I always try to write down things that come across my brain and think about if I actually want to pursue it or do it. And for me, I'm just somebody that when I hear something and when I feel inspired, when I want to do it, I just do it. It doesn't mean it has to be like forever, and it doesn't mean I'm going to invest all my money in it. But like for me, I personally, like when I get an idea, I want to go full-fledged and go into it and do it for as long as I want. And then if it's done, it's done. And I think that that's the only way that we go and find out what we want to do in this world and how we find our passion. And so I just hope some kind of inspiration came out of this video for somebody on here. And if you want that guide I was talking about, my little daily focus guide, I can give you the same one I have. I can give you a version that you can edit yourself, whatever you want. Just let me know down in the comments below and I can definitely provide that for you if you're interested. And if you have any ideas or questions of things that I should post for a video in the future, also put that down in the comments or reach out to me on Instagram or my email, michelle@michellelisamahoneycom. And I will see you again in the next one.